Greetings, YouTube. The doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Marvel Contest of Champions. And today we're going to talk about this forum post that came out about AI changes that Kabam MCOC team is announcing. And we're going to go over this, and I want to talk about our trust in Kabam, and do we really think that they're going to be able to accomplish this appropriately and successfully. All right, so hello summoners. There's been a lot of discussion in the community about our AI recently, so we wanted to take this opportunity to shed some light on how our AI system works and what we've been working on behind the scenes. We hope this post will provide transparency, insight, and understanding on the situation and how our team is handling AI issues. So, current state. Our AI works on a year-old system of randomly weighted actions. So it takes actions randomly every time it decides to take an action. So it triggers, I'm going to take an action, has a list of actions, and then it looks at what it has options, and it picks one randomly. So the AI looks at its current state, looks at all the actions it could perform, and then randomly rolls to decide which action it will take. That's not really an AI. So it's a random generator. And they say it's not simply rolling dice. It's not a learning AI. So there's some advantages to the system. They don't want the AI learning how to beat us, because then we won't be able to do anything in the game and everybody will quit the game. So, but because of the RNG that is associated with the AI, then with all the new stuff that comes up in the game, it can be a bit frustrating, and people think that the AI is actually learning and getting harder. So to be clear, we haven't been actively changing the game's AI code. We are not using it as a tool to annoy summoners or to drive item usage. So it sounds like they have gotten a lot of negative feedback about people thinking that they changed the AI, and they're announcing here in writing that they did not. However, the contest also isn't the same game it was years ago. Our game is a complicated web of interactions because we've got all these new champions and all these new powers and all these new type of powers and all these new nodes. So that probably, and they're talking about the increasing complexity of champion kits, nodes, and a number of engine upgrades all add up. It probably just gives the AI more choices, and that's what I think they're talking about. So the engineering team has been working behind the scenes to address these concerns for a long time. One of the things we discovered while digging into the input issues, remember we've been having a lot of input issues, that is, you go to do a parry. Parry is probably the biggest one. You go to do a parry and you don't parry. So that is an issue of that is an example of an input issue. So while digging into the input issues and standing up our fight replay tech, was that some of the replays we were getting back weren't always consistent. Digging into this more, we found that some of the AI randomness was occurring in the game engine layer. In code we didn't write, can't change, and doesn't yield the same result every time. So people would say, I can't parry. There's an input issue. And they would try and replicate it, and they weren't able to replicate it because of the way the code is. Our first step is moving the randomness that's currently happening on the engine layer over to our own code so we can get 100% consistent fight replay so they can see issues easier. The goal here is that the game should play the same as it does now, but we'll be able to more consistently reproduce player-reported issues. From there, we'll be able to better investigate the things that are frustrating summoners and make fixes where we deem necessary. Ultimately, this will give us more control over our systems and will allow us to help improve the summoner experience moving forward. Making the changes to the AI can be a precarious process. Summoners have grown accustomed to elements of the AI and rely on strategies to counter them. We are trying to avoid invalidating existing summoner strategies by making small incremental changes. Intentions, timeline, and expectations. You will encounter our new AI system in November. So it sounds like they've been working on this for a while, and it's probably why they haven't fixed any of the input issues. So Kabam has a bad history of not listening to the community about issues and doing their own thing. And I perceive that they think this is going to change or fix those input problems when they're not really working on it. So we are confident that we have successfully recreated the current system and that this transition will be relatively seamless. Where have we heard that before? To reiterate, the goal at this stage is for you all to experience no discernible changes. We've heard that before too. By transitioning over to the new system, we will have more thorough control in identifying, replicating, and triaging potential bugs in the AI system. How confident are we? And boy, we've heard that before too. We enabled the new AI system on the content creator beta server for a week before telling them, sneaky, so they're making a joke. The intention was to see if there were any noticeable or noteworthy changes that encountered. Essentially, did it feel any different after discussions with the CCP? We are confident that we are ready to implement this system game-wide. Now, what problem do I have with this? Kabam has demonstrated, and they've demonstrated recently, that they have very little quality control over the systems that go into the game, or things that they post in the game, or things they change in the game, or updates they put into the game. So I want to go back to July 13th. And I want to highlight this. We had and this was one of several input issues and code issues and posting issues that they had. So they did this announcement for this Silk pre-release bundle on July 13th. And for the first about 3-4 hours that this came out, someone's email was put in here instead of the actual pre-release bundle announcement. So that's what it looked like if you came onto the game on July 13th, 1300 Eastern Standard Time. You got this, the goals of the feature, blah, blah, blah. This is an email, by the way. Somebody cut and paste their email into the game, and we all saw it. Rich the Man did a video on this, and that's the screenshot I took. So here's the video I made right here. And this is what you saw about 4 hours later. This is the actual pre-release announcement. So do we really trust Kabam to make these changes correctly when they can't even get a pre-release announcement out, let alone stop somebody from cutting and pasting their email to come out? And then we saw our stash disappear after that, and a couple of issues. So I just don't have a lot of trust in them. I feel like this whole AI change thing is going to fall on its face, and we're all going to have a lot of problems. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.